Hey guys. This is going to be a different kind of reading. A lot of times I talk to people about, especially like in private readings and personal readings, where they've met somebody where there's this really strong connection, and then for a reason they don't understand, that person just ghosts the situation. And ghosting can mean that they can't reach them to talk to them at all, or it can mean that, it might have gone from being this really, neat, strong connection where there was deep conversations to where, the conversation now is just, hey, what's up? And, it all becomes very superficial. A lot of times when that happens, I know that we have a tendency to think that there's something wrong with us, or to put all that on us, and feeling that way lowers our vibration, and that's not something that we ever want to allow to happen, especially if there's no reason for it to happen, especially if there's nothing going on that we need to feel bad about ourselves for. So I had this idea to kind of try to read on it, to give us a different perspective and way of looking at things when that happens. So if you'll take a look at the description box below, it gives you an idea of the way that I read. I read energy, not gender, so masculine and feminine energies, which we all have both. And if you would like to schedule your own personal reading, you can do so at my website, which is also linked below. And with that, let's go ahead and get into this reading. Really the purpose of it is just a healing purpose of helping us to understand a different perspective on when things like this happen, so we aren't so quick to be hard on ourselves when that happens. So, Spirit, what are some of the reasons that a person might walk away from a strong connection, a strong connection with someone new? We're going to say this isn't, an existing relationship where you've been dating for a long time, but like someone you've met and, it just seems like a really neat connection, like with a lot of potential, and then without any warning, or like you just don't know why, but that person just dips out. And I would venture to say that if you're watching this, it's probably happened to you. It's for sure happened to me. The lightning bolt is a Scorpio energy. Could be Aries too. Some shocking event happens. Tell me more about why a person might just walk away from a promising connection. Winged messengers. This is the divine talking to them. Or talking to you. What are some of the reasons that a person would walk away from a strong romantic connection? Okay, so we have a King of Scrolls and a Queen of Scrolls. So right now what I'm picking up on for you is that this person that ghosted in this particular story, tarot always tells a story, so this might not be your story, but it's someone's. That there's been a sudden realization of the divinity of this connection. See how we have a King of Scrolls and a Queen of Scrolls? When they match that way, that is a divine connection. All right. Please remember to take take this reading, you know, if it's not resonating for you, if it doesn't feel personal, you know, find the lessons and take it. But don't try to make anything fit that isn't yours. So in this particular situation, what is the reason why one of the people, pardon me, walked away from this divine connection? There's definitely someone here that's still attached either to someone from their past or an idea of how things will be from the past. But there's something from the past. Oh, so we have the thinking man and indecision. So it's our king that walked away. So we have an indecisive king here. And then we have hostilities and the third chakra. The third chakra is kind of your intuition, your gut, like what your gut tells you. And with the thinking man and indecision being there, and then hostilities and third chakra following up, there's just something in this king's gut, just his gut feeling was that this could go badly, that there might be fighting here, or that that there might be I don't know, that this might be something that ends up making him feel bad. And while I'm sitting here shuffling, would envy pop out too. So I suspect that there's some jealousy on the part of this king for whatever reason. But whatever this gut feeling is that he had, sorry, I have all my alarms for my kids that go off on my phone. I forgot to turn it off. So we're back to whatever this gut feeling is that this king has him in his head. It's got him feeling indecisive, and there's an element of envy or jealousy or something here. Tell me more about why this king walked away from this connection with this queen. It definitely has to do with his self-worth, how he feels about himself. I think that this queen is probably a very spiritual person, and something about that, I don't know, it has something to do with her spirituality. I think that he is not understanding that if this queen is highly spiritual or gifted or whatever it is, this king has strengths that are very different but very equal to this queen's. And he's not seeing them that way because their gifts are different. But nobody wants, I mean, you don't want all of the same thing in a relationship. You want someone that brings balance to you. You know, this king might have gifts that are more, you know, grounded sort of gifts. Believe me, if you have a highly spiritual woman, she definitely needs someone who's very grounded. Yeah, I think that he's definitely not recognizing that they're very equal in the way that in the strengths that they bring to one another, but they are different. I think it's great. I mean, you can have a little what I have, I can have a little what you have. Complicated. This king might be at a place in his life where he doesn't want anything to complicate it. Maybe he's gotten into a, I don't know, just a little rhythm of life that he's comfortable with, and he's not sure if he wants to change that. Kings, if that's what's up, you should probably say so. Conclusion just came out too. So for some of these kings, it might just be that they don't want this. For others, we have complicated conclusion. I like to read cards together. They make more sense to me when I read them together. He might have a, just sort of a, we all have these false narratives that play in our head that are based on things that happened in our childhood, things that happened, you know, just FYI real quick while I'm talking, the Warrior just came out. Things that happen in past relationships where we just, our mind just sort of believes, okay, that's what happened then, so that's what's going to always happen. So if he's had complicated endings in the past or painful ends to relationships in the past, he might think, well, that's how this is going to go anyways, so I'm just not even going to give it any energy because I already know that there will be a painful ending at some point and I don't want to deal with that again. And I think that's probably more the situation than him just wanting a solution, pardon me, him just wanting it to be an end or him not wanting to complicate his life. But the good news is he's come out as a warrior. What do warriors do? They fight for it, right? Yeah. This king is in love. We have love and the High Priestess of Air. He's in love with an air sign. Air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What was the cause of this king walking away, please? And kings, if you're the ones that are listening, and if you're the ones that are listening to this, just, you know, you can just switch the energy. You know, this might be a woman that did the same thing to you. So that's just how energy readings work. So feel free to just switch the characters. Why did this king walk away from this queen? Fulfillment of wishes? Was she everything that you wanted and that freaked you out? Tell me more about fulfillment of wishes and why this king walked away, please. Accelerated motion. Something that moves quickly, that he hadn't anticipated being happy so quickly? Or that when this came to him, Queens, were you trying to take things too fast? See what else comes out. But why did this king walk away from this divine connection? sacral chakra. Sacral chakra rules over our sexuality. So there might have been a very intense sexual connection or desire or passion here that was overwhelming. It can also have to do with your ability to be creative and memories of love. Yeah, so whatever it is that's happened in the past, there's been something painful that's happened in the past. There's been another time in the past where this king has felt like he's met just this amazing woman and he went quickly for it and things didn't work out and it was painful, and this connection frightens him because he thinks that it will end the same way, that's just that's just how things work. I'll tell you right now, kings, queens, whoever you are, if you've decided in your mind that that's just how things are going to happen, then that's just how things are going to happen. If you've decided that love is always going to hurt or that relationships are never going to work out, then love will always hurt and relationships will never work out. This king definitely feels he's lacking in self-worth, which from what I can tell is something he needs to release. I mean, I'm not seeing anything but a very capable man here. It's more a matter of accepting himself and realizing all that he has to offer. He's not recognizing all that he has to offer. Kings, if this is you, I really want to suggest two things to you. The first is to start praying. Not just like driving in your truck down the street, but get down on your knees by your bed and pray. And talk to your Heavenly Father and tell him what's going on in your life. You know, I think a lot of you haven't talked to him that way in a long time. And the other one is to make a list of all the people that you need to forgive or seek forgiveness from. And make sure that if your name should be on the list that you do that. Because we all make mistakes in life. We all do. I mean, that's just a given. But we have to find the lessons in those mistakes, release the pain, and we have to forgive ourselves and move on, or we can't ever move on to the next lesson. And all the lessons in life, all the mistakes that we make, the purpose in all of them is for us to level up, for us to grow, right? For us to get better. I mean, if everything goes perfectly for us and we never make a mistake that we have to recover from, then we never become wiser. We just stay stagnant. There's great purpose in our mistakes. What we haven't ever been taught to do really is to learn how to handle them. You know, that when we make mistakes, that we need to be like, first like, oh yeah, that was a mistake, I made a mistake. And then like, what did I learn from that mistake? All right, that was the lesson. You know, what there hurt me there that I need to, you know, maybe heal or acknowledge. And then once you do that, you know, being able, yeah, look, prayer. Heavenly Father is literally just waiting every day for you to call him. I talk all day long to God. You know, when I'm driving down the street, when I'm working in the kitchen, when I'm doing whatever. But the mornings that after I meditate, that I get down on my knees and have a very, very mindful, intentional time of prayer, it's just a better day. It just is. I have more clarity, I have more peace. I have more everything. Yep. All these false narratives. So we have despondence and facade. Facade is something that's not real. It's something that you've made up in your head. Some just false narrative, some false belief that you have about yourself that's got you all upset. And you don't need to be. It's a facade. It's a lie. We already saw here that this king that if you're the king that I'm talking to, that you have all these gifts, that you are this beautiful, strong man, and that you really need to start to recognize that, to really start to see all that you bring to the lives of other people, because I suspect that the group of men that I'm talking to here really, really have. Queens, I want you to recognize that if this king has walked away from you, we've yet to see anything here, that you have done. And if, we talk about, energies, masculine and feminine, this might be you too. Queens, you might be acting like the king does, that you might think that whatever you bring to the table isn't, equal to what they bring to the table. You may have had these gut feelings that are based on old narratives or things that have happened in the past. You might be in that fear mindset that, oh, well, I could start something, but what if I really fall in love, and what if I get hurt? And so you're just going to end it before it ever begins. You can't live that way. You can't. When you live in fear, when that's your default setting is fear, all you're going to do is draw to you the things that you fear. If you fear getting hurt in a love situation, well, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get hurt in love situations. If you go into love situations feeling grateful and blessed and thanking God, in prayer for this beautiful person that He brought into your life, this beautiful connection that He brought into your life, and you nurture it every day, and you have great faith in where this relationship is going, you're going to build a beautiful relationship. We manifest what we think all the time. You have to manifest your mind. Expectation. So this king feels like there's some sort of expectation on him. Expectation of what he brings. This queen's expectation of him that potentially he can't live up to it. Yeah, queens, look who's thinking about you. And then we have pathway on the bottom. Let's go ahead and get into the tarot about this and see what's really happening in this story. So, Spirit, what is the situation here? What is the situation? It looks like this king, has some fear concerning this relationship. He wants it, he wants to fight for it, but it looks like something in the past has happened that's made him believe that that's, whatever that bad ending was, that that's how everything will always end. Can you tell us more about this situation, please? Tell us about this situation, please. Why has this king walked away from this queen, from this divine connection? How many do we have here? Yeah, that's too many. Can I have fewer cards, please? What is the situation here? Yeah, this king's definitely moved away from making an offer of love. He doesn't even want to think about it because it seems so hard to him. He may have come from a very dysfunctional family. Lots of romantic heartache in the past. What's the situation here for this king, please? Temperance, Ten of Cups in reverse. Gosh. The Three of Wands in reverse and Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Temperance is Sagittarius energy. It's also Libra for me. Temperance is about divine timing. It's about divine help. It's about divine healing. Someone here can be drinking too much, or participating in toxic behaviors. And then these three that we have that are in reverse. The Three of Wands here in the center, that's an energy of manifestation, or, you know, waiting for something to come in. And what this king's been waiting for is this happy family that never seems to happen. Ten of Cups in reverse is, when it's upright, it's happy family, happy life, happy wife, white picket fence, dinner smells good when you walk inside the house, all that kind of good stuff. And Eight of Pentacles is work, and it's also over and over. No matter how hard he works at this, over and over again, it never seems to manifest. It never seems to happen for him. Kings, queens, whoever you are in this story, a lot of this doesn't happen for you because you don't believe it. You don't believe it can happen for you. So that's where your mind is all the time. You have a defeatist mentality about it. And the universe loves us. The universe wants to give us everything that we want. And it doesn't make any judgment on what we think about. It just is like, hey, you know, Bob thinks that he can't ever be happy in a relationship. Well, if he's thinking about it, that must be what he wants. So give him more of that. Bob can never be happy in a relationship. But what happens when Bob starts to think, you know, I do deserve to be happy. Happy relationships are possible. You know, look at my friends so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. They all have these beautiful marriages, relationships, families, what have you. You know, I know it exists. I've seen it. I think I can have some of that too. I think that's for me too. Whatever you think about, whatever you believe you can have it. But you have to manifest it first in your mind. You have to visualize it first in your mind. What is the obstacle here for this king, please? Queens, again, this has nothing to do with you. So for those of you that are thinking there's something wrong with you or you did something wrong, you know, before you get into that, because all that does is create a false narrative for you. And then do you see the cycle that we get into? Then you start thinking you don't deserve it. And then you go into another connection and now you do the same thing. And then pretty soon we have a whole world full of people that think that they don't deserve to be happy, and a jacked up world. What if your contribution to the world was believing that you deserve love and to be happy? It's catching. That way of thinking is contagious. It doesn't require that you wear a mask either. What is the obstacle for this king? That's too many, Spirit. What is the obstacle for this king? Wish fulfillment. Aquarius energy. The star is the dream, the wish that your heart makes. Tell me more about the star card as the obstacle, please. The Magician in reverse. There we have it. The Magician, when it's upright, can manifest anything he wants. He has all the tools available to him, the knowledge, he's able to master his mind. He uses everything that he's available to him to master, to manifest what it is that he wants. He can do that, he's the Magician. But this king is not in an energy of being able to manifest what he wants most. This is literally a mindset for this king. This has nothing to do with what he is actually capable of. I've seen nothing here except what this king believes in his mind. How will this king overcome this obstacle? What is the energy that this king will embrace to overcome this obstacle? What is the energy that this... He's going to go quiet. High Priestess. She doesn't talk. He needs some time to think. Queens, he's trying to figure it out. I know this has left you in a very heartbroken sort of way, just feeling bad. But it has nothing to do with you. I'm going to leave that there for our kings. And now, queens, these kings are thinking. I like the fact that they came up as the High Priestess. One, does it mean that they're not talking? Yeah, it means they're not talking. But it also means that they're thinking. The High Priestess is always figuring things out. She's very intuitive. She's getting in touch with her own spirituality, her own understanding, her own knowing. And if that's what this king needs to do right now, then he needs to be given the space to do that. So what is the advice for my queens? I'm going to use a different deck to do that with. So we'll set this over here, bottom of the deck. We have the moon, which is the unknown, intuition, secrets. I don't think it's bad secrets, queens. Not in this case. And if this video is well received, we'll do it again and ask for a different story. I don't pick up that it's anything bad here, though, really. I think that this king is just trying to figure out how he feels, and he can't do that without spending some time alone, some time in quiet, being retrospective. What is the advice for the queen? While this king goes into this High Priestess energy and he's being quiet and introspective and thinking, what is the advice for these queens, please? How should these queens handle this? One, leave them alone. Don't chase them. Don't. First of all, queens shouldn't be chasing anybody. The queen stays on her throne. Okay? That's number one. But I want you to think, like, if you're at the mall and you saw a guy just laser focus on you and you're watching him and he's looking at you and he's got that laser focus, and then he just comes at you full bore. He's chasing you. What are you gonna do? Run? I'm running. Leave him alone. Let him have this time to think. Give him that space. Even if it's hard. Even if it takes courage and strength. Let him have the space. And Queens, before cards even fall, I want you to recognize, oh, we already have cards out. 3 of Cups in reverse and the Moon in reverse. The Moon in reverse, to me, I'm picking up as being transparent. The Moon upright a lot of times is secrets. It can also be intuition. This 3 of Cups energy that I'm picking up on, and I don't know what the status of this relationship is, whether or not, you know, if you're the type that you think, well, I'll just go out and find another one right away. Just, you know, next. I'm just going to next him. Don't do that. If this is truly a divine connection, don't do that. Work on you. Go to the gym. Get your nails done. Focus on making your money. Learn a new recipe. Go out with your girlfriends. Don't go run out and try to, you know, find your next and start posting pictures all over Facebook and all that mess. Don't do that. What other advice do you have for my queens while our king is being introspective? The 5 of Cups and the Hangman. 5 of Cups is you're sad, you miss him. Hangman is you're stuck. It's also, the Hangman is also you being enlightened. If you look at this, the 5 of Cups energy, this sweet girl that's sitting here and she's got all these spirits that are around her and she's being very introspective also. The Hangman means stuck, but it also means being enlightened. Being still so you can be enlightened too. I really think that the advice that you're being given here is for you to use this time to be introspective too. That even if, you know, this is uncomfortable, to use this as a time to think about what you want too, and whether or not this is right for you also. Yeah, that's the advice. So let's see what happens when both of y'all are going to use the, this love deck. Let's see what happens when these two both follow this advice. You know, when this king takes time to stop and think about what he's doing. When this queen gives him that space and actually decides to use this time to do the same thing. Is this what she really wants to? You know, and since you can't think about that all the time either, you know, understand that you deserve love. Understand, you know, that keep an open mind about what you think is happening. What you know, don't just immediately go to the negative. Oh, he's with another woman, or oh, you know, it's because I have fat thighs, or oh, you know, whatever it is. Don't go straight into that energy. Just stop and think about yourself. What's good for yourself? Like, what is it that you want? And during this time, you know, there's always a chance that this king might not show back up. So during this time, make sure that you are also making the choice to continue to develop yourself, truly. I mean, the best advice I can give anyone that's kind of in this hangman sort of energy is go work on your money. Go work on your money bag. Go make your money. Make your money, make your money, make your money. Go do that. Go work. Go work extra hours. Go start a new business. Go work on a new project. Go work on yourself. Go, you know, do whatever it is that you're just constantly improving yourself. Because the outcome of that will be, oh, honeymoon. We'll pretend that didn't just come out, and we'll continue that little talk about when you work on yourself, you know, if you make yourself the focus, what's going to happen is this king is going to come back to an even better queen, or you're going to get so involved in your own success and self-love and seeing what all you're able to accomplish. Oh, I think you're both going to realize it's safe to love. Let's get one more. And for those of you where this king doesn't show up again, when you just focus on yourself, you're just going to be more amazing, and you're going to attract someone even more amazing. Like attracts like. If you let this situation take you into some low vibrational, oh, we've got forgiving and learning. And this could be the one. I don't know. It's looking pretty good for this little divine connection. Like I said, like attracts like. Whatever the situation is, wherever you are in it, just never forget to focus on yourself and to continue to do things that raise your vibration, that are good for you. And to really take that time to think too, like this king isn't the only one that needs to decide whether or not it's for him, queens. You need to decide if it's for you. Because you're fabulous. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see another reading like this, you know, where tarot maybe has a different story for us, a different scenario. And I appreciate when you like the video and when you subscribe and you do all that kind of good stuff and share it. So it's a new channel and I'd really like it to be successful. So thank you.